The Walt Disney Company may have actually done something legitimately good. I know it's a shock, folks. I know. Given the current attitude and the current atmosphere surrounding Disney, internal and external, I know it's a surprise to all of us. Now, there is a bit of controversy here, though, because not everybody agrees. Folks, today we're going to talk about a cartoon character that Disney has largely neglected, finally brought back and given a short after 60 years. Hang tight, folks. This is a story you can't miss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a place that's been called happy, fun, frivolous, even ducky. No, that's Clarence Nash, the original voice behind Donald Duck. And it's Donald Duck that is getting a 60-year reboot. It's only a 2-minute short, though, and that's where some of the criticism comes in. Another criticism, of course, that Clarence Ducky Nash, the original voice for Donald, the only one being used through archival audio for this short. But there's way more to this Donald Duck short than you might imagine, folks. I mean, this could be just a very minor topic, but it's not. And we'll explain why. We're going to bring on a panel. You got to try this one out, see what you think, and we'll talk about it on the flip side of the panel discussion. We are not negative at Disney just for the sake of being negative. Flat out, we're not. And we do have a positive story. I want to bring this to everyone's attention because this is the very, very rare today story we get to do that's positive. It says the first Donald Duck short in 60 years shouldn't be the last. This is out of Polygon. It's by Matt Patches. DIY, which stands for Do It Yourself Duck, throws back to a classic Disney tradition that deserves to continue. Now, I wish that we could show this to you. We cannot. The animation is nowhere close to what it once was in the 40s and 50s. Okay? It's not. But thank goodness Disney was able to cobble together 2 minutes of hand-drawn animation and give this to Donald Duck on the 90th anniversary of the creation of the duck. The only critique that I have for this short, well, two critiques I'll give to this short. One is that it's too short. I wanted 10 minutes of this because it's classic Disney. And I can show you still shots of this. This is classic Disney, and it's wonderful. There's nothing in here. There's no message. There's no socio-political posturing. It's just Donald working on his house. It reminds me of the children's book where the ant gets lost in the house and the main character tries to catch the ant. Folks will know which children's story that is. But it's just disaster after disaster. But there's nothing in here that's bad. The critique is it's too short. And then the other thing is, if I go back to the credits here, the only voice talent they used was archival audio from Clarence Ducky Nash, who's the original voice, which I don't know if you even call it a voice, for Donald. It's actually air pushed between your cheek and your teeth. And then what they failed to do here was they failed to use Tony Anselmo, who is the current voice of Donald Duck. And I really think they should have celebrated along with Tony. He's been doing Donald since at least the 90s, maybe the 80s, about 89, because Clarence Ducky Nash, his last performance is in Roger Rabbit, I think.
He died in 85.
Okay, so they may have used archival for that. So Tony's been doing it since the 80s. And I think Tony, he's earned to be in this as a celebration of Donald. They should have done that. But this is what we need out of Disney. And all the stuff they are doing, I'm telling you, this could be just every bit as successful as what they're doing if they would give their main characters time to shine. Culture, before you go, have you had a chance to see DIY Duck yet?
No, but it's right up my alley. I mean, and
you got to watch it after you're gone. It's only 2 minutes.
Absolutely will. No, I absolutely will. And I like the classic animation style and the fact that they're using obviously audio footage from previous. That's even better. Or even if it's obviously the person that took over the voice. But to me, having these classic elements and the classic Donald Duck it speaks volumes. Considering that right now you could best use the Fab Five, I should say. You could best use them right now better than ever because of the modern world around us with the DIY stuff and everything else. I mean, think about the fact that they kind of, believe it or not, the early shorts had an element of the truth in all of them. like South Park and perhaps even The Simpsons up until the last decade, where there's just enough foreshadowing in them. There's just enough of the the things that people are dealing with at the moment that are in these shorts, these cartoons that we used to see in front of cinema films. These things are great for a lot of reason, and this one, because of just how traditional this looks, is great in and of itself, and that's just based on the screenshots that I've seen.
Jonas, you have a different take, I believe, on the Donald short. Share with us what you think about this DIY duck, which I'm positing as the one positive story I could manage for Disney today.
It's fine. I'm glad that they did it. It doesn't really harken back to the Goofy short that they did several years ago. That was How to Hook Up Your Home Theater. That called back very specifically to a series of Goofy cartoons.
Yes,
the animation is good. I would say it's even short as far as Disney shorts go. Disney shorts are usually around 8 minutes long. This thing's only 3 minutes. It feels like it's missing quite a bit here, and I have to wonder if they didn't give Mark Henn, who directed this and probably did a lot of the animation for it, if they didn't give him enough of a budget to actually work on this for any period of time. It looks like they gave him a television budget for this, whereas they're willing to fall all over themselves for the Spark short series or for the Launchpad series, which has messaging attached to it. So I don't know. I just feel like this is something that maybe Disney said, oh, we have a Donald Duck 90th anniversary coming up. We better check that box somehow. Otherwise, people are going to call us out on social media. And so I think as with Disney so often, I think they want the headline more than they want the actual product.
Yeah.
Well,
hold that frame. Hold that frame. Could I, without saying anything, just show of hands or what? Well, maybe not some of us. Everybody recognize that painting on the wall?
Is that Whistler's Mother?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You gave it away, but I was going to say, our animators are supposed to go to like art school and learn a little bit about history. Who show of hands, who thinks a majority of the people working in Imagineering today would even know what the name of that picture is?
Well, I don't think so.
I don't.
It's got to be some sort of
maybe if they saw the Mr. Bean movie, because
okay.
The painting.
But I will say,
Whistler's Mother.
I will say that Jonas brought up who directed this, which is Mark Henn.
Yeah,
he just retired from Disney. This is the final thing he gets to do, and I kind of think maybe Disney said, "Here, we've treated you like a pile of crap, even though you directed Moana." Even though you directed and worked on Princess and the Frog, you're a white dude. You're an old white dude, and we've treated you like crap ever since. Essentially, they just walked all over this guy. He is a legend. They walked all over in the last 7-8 years, and it looks to me like maybe they said, "Here, you do a Donald Duck short. We'll let you do this. You got a budget for 2 minutes. Have at it, buddy." And that was the way he retired.
Do you think if we had another episode of the D-Files, they'd say they had one old timer that they couldn't talk into leaving? So they came up with the ultimate way to get rid of him. They assigned him to do a 2-minute short with one of the old characters on a TV budget. That got rid of him.
That's one way to be sent out the door.
Oh, boy. I tell you.
It's really disappointing that it's just 2 minutes. I agree with you on that. And also it's made in the style, not of the original shorts, but of the shorts from the 90s and early 2000s, because they did actually make a couple of Donald shorts back then, for those that don't recall.
Was that for the House of Mouse? Or what was
yes, exactly. It was some kind of other show that they were packaged into, but they were halfway decent. Now,
seems like I remember it had the Huey, Louie, and Dewey in it too. They had the nephews in there.
Yeah, and they had Dolly and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but anyway, I'm happy to see it. I honestly wish they had done more like that, because honestly, Disney was built on Mickey and Donald. Internationally, Donald more so. Donald was always bigger in Europe than was Mickey, especially in the Nordic where I'm from. Like, Donald is a huge star to this day.
Yeah, but that's just because you didn't wear pants, you guys up there, I tell you.
Yeah, well, there is that. But yeah, and they just let him language completely. And it's a great shame. So I'm glad to see this.
These characters are still popular, Andre. They like, the audiences would still love to see Mickey and Donald on the small screen and the big screen. They just need to be treated well. The problem is I'm afraid to let Disney do it again. I'm afraid to see what they would, have these characters do if they had 90 minutes with them.
We should probably appreciate the DuckTales revival, because that's as good as it's going to get. Although I hate the Cal Arts art for it.
Yes, the art, I'm not a fan of it at all. I agree.
Meanwhile, Warner Brothers is actually releasing a 90-minute Looney Tunes hand-drawn animation cartoon within the next few years.
Oh, wow.
Let's hope it doesn't get roadrunnered.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we've come to the end. Now I want to know from you what you thought about it. Really and truly, I do. In the comments down below, let us know, do you think that Disney should bring back the Fab Five? And what we mean by that is Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, the Chipmunks, Pluto, you get it. Now, here's the deal. Folks, when you put down your comment, I want you to answer this question for me so that I'll understand your thoughts on it. Disney could bring back those characters and really emphasize them in the same style they were back in the 40s and 50s. And I think that's a good thing. But many out there say, no, they shouldn't, because they'll ruin them. They'll destroy them. They'll put modern messaging in it. I want to know your opinion, which way they should go with this. Let me know down below. Also, folks, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. And don't forget to check out Vacation Radio. It's at Vacation Radio here on YouTube for 24/7 original, fun, uplifting, and non-woke music all day long. Every single lyric written by me. Folks, we hope you check it out and subscribe. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.